My son went no contact with me and it haunts me. He said that I chose his stepfather over him and that I can't actually love him if I stay with a person that hates her kid. I divorced my ex-husband when my son was 11 years old. We had 50-50 custody. I remarried my current husband 2 years after that. My current husband and my son didn't get along, to say the least. Even when I was dating him, they remained aloof with each other. My son was anxious about interacting but was still respectful toward him. My husband saw dealing with my son as something he signed up for if he was going to continue to be in a relationship with me, even though he still kept his distance from my son. Things got worse after we got married, and my husband would avoid my son when he came to visit. He soon started criticizing him and became harsh with him. It could be something like occasionally getting a snack from the fridge without asking or sometimes forgetting to turn off the lights in his room. He said I should cut down my visitations with my son. I asked him why he hated him. He said he didn't hate him but disliked him. He hated the fact that my son was introverted and awkward. My husband said it's already enough that he tolerates him. He kept antagonizing my son. He would say things like he should get a job during high school because he was going to be out of the house by 20 at best. I always stood up for my son and admonished my husband in private, and I told my son not to take it seriously in the heat of the moment. My husband laid off my son when I got pregnant with our daughter 5 years ago. By that time, my son felt alienated. I admit I always prioritized my relationship with my husband over my son. I made more effort to spend time with my husband than with my son, whether it was doing our daily Friday date nights or going out as a couple every other weekend. We took more couples-only vacations in a year than family vacations, not including the occasional weekend getaways. I understood this made my son feel like second place. But my son didn't understand that eventually, he would start a life of his own, while my partner was still going to be with me. Yes, I could have spent more time with him, but no parent is perfect, and it's always a struggle to keep a balance. My son became distant from me and focused on his studies more. That paid off, at least, since he got a huge scholarship to our flagship state university. He relied on student loans to pay the rest of the tuition. He cut me off the day he was supposed to come back from winter break. He cut me off by email. He wrote this. Dear Mom, I don't want a relationship with you anymore. Your love holds little to no value to me anymore. I don't resent you for divorcing Dad. I don't resent you for finding love again and wanting to get remarried. However, these past years, I've learned an important lesson. I've learned that the relationships one holds on to play a role in their identity. You can't say you love me more than anything in the world, yet love a man who treats me like an unwanted burden. I resent you for making him my stepfather. I resent you for making me treat someone who hates me being around like an authority or parental figure, even though he hasn't earned it. I resent you for always choosing him over me. Don't call me anymore. Don't visit me. I have a great life in college with new friends. I guess I am not the weirdo with no friends that the shit stain of a human being who you call your husband says anymore. And I still have Dad who loves me. Goodbye forever. That message still haunts me. I tried calling, and he had blocked my number. When I attempted to visit him, he wouldn't let me into his dorm and finally threatened to get a restraining order. That's when I backed off. My mother is the only connection I have to him, and through my sister's Facebook. My mother was the one who told me he was double majoring in mechanical engineering and physics, and he was currently pursuing a PhD in physics at an Ivy League university. My sister allows me to log into her account to see pictures of his life. When I saw his graduation pictures, with only his dad invited, or pictures of his friends, I just burst into tears.